On June 4th, 2008, Travis Alexander was found dead in his shower in Mesa, Arizona. He had been stabbed 27 times. His throat had been cut from ear to ear. He had been shot once in the face. His body had been in the shower for 5 days before his friends found him. Travis was 28 years old, a practicing Mormon, a motivational speaker. By all accounts, a man with no enemies. Except one. His ex-girlfriend, Jodi Arias, called police the day after his body was discovered and offered to help with the investigation. She would speak to police 3 times. She would tell 3 completely different stories. And she would believe each one would save her.
Jodi Arias' first story was the simplest. She was not there. She had not been to Travis's house that day. She had not been anywhere near Mesa, Arizona. She delivered this version with confidence, with detail, with a road trip itinerary that placed her hundreds of miles away. Her phone records contradicted the story. Her DNA was at the crime scene. Her bloody palm print was on the hallway wall. And photographs recovered from Travis's camera showed Jodi Arias in his bathroom on the day he died. When Detective Flores presented this evidence, Jodi looked at the photographs and said, "Are you sure that's me?" When the photographs made the first story untenable, Jodi Arias produced a second. She had been at Travis's house, but 2 masked intruders had broken in, a man and a woman. They had attacked Travis. They had threatened Jodi. They had told her that if she spoke to anyone, her family would be killed. This is why she had not called police. This is why she had left a voicemail for Travis hours after the murder, to establish an alibi. This is why she had driven to another man's house in Utah and slept with him the same night. Investigators noted that the intruder story required believing that 2 masked killers had left behind only one living witness. A witness who happened to be the ex-girlfriend.
At trial, 4 years after the murder, Jodi Arias presented her third version. She had been there. She had killed Travis Alexander, but she had done so in self-defense. Travis, she claimed, had been physically abusive, emotionally controlling, and a pedophile. On June 4th, he had attacked her after she dropped his camera. He had body slammed her onto the tile floor. He had threatened to kill her. She had retrieved a gun from his closet. It had gone off accidentally. And then her memory went blank. The prosecution's response was precise. The 2 photographs taken accidentally by Travis's camera during the attack were 62 seconds apart. Whisper. In 62 seconds, Jodi Arias was asking the jury to believe that everything she described had occurred.
When Detective Esteban Flores arrested Jodi Arias, he noted something immediately. She did not ask why she was being arrested. A person who genuinely does not know why they are in handcuffs asks. Jodi did not. In the interrogation room, her behavior was consistent with what forensic psychologists describe as performed innocence, a deliberate construction of how an innocent person is supposed to behave. She was cooperative. She was calm. She smiled at appropriate moments. She expressed concern for Travis's family. She also asked the detective, before the interview began, whether the recording devices in the room were switched on. An innocent person does not ask that question.
The prosecution's most damning evidence was not forensic. It was photographic. Travis Alexander's camera contained images taken on the day of his death. Photos of Travis in the shower, taken by Jodi, and 2 photographs taken by accident during the attack itself. The first showed the ceiling of the bathroom, captured as the camera was dropped. The second, taken 62 seconds later, showed Travis's body on the floor of the shower. And one more detail, a foot in jeans standing over him. When Detective Flores showed Jodi this photograph, she studied it carefully. Then she said, "Are those my pants?"
Jodi Arias spent 18 days on the witness stand. 18 days answering questions about her own case. It was, by most legal assessments, a catastrophic strategic decision. What forensic psychology observed over those 18 days was a subject who had rehearsed every answer to questions she expected. When questions came from her own attorney, she was fluent, composed, emotionally calibrated. When the prosecutor began cross-examination, something shifted. She claimed not to remember. She asked for questions to be repeated. She gave answers that contradicted testimony from minutes earlier. The gap between the rehearsed performance and the unrehearsed reality was visible to everyone in the courtroom, except, apparently, to her. Forensic psychologists who evaluated Jodi Arias identified a consistent pattern throughout her behavior before, during, and after the crime. A profound inability to accept a reality that conflicted with her desired narrative. When Travis ended the romantic relationship, Jodi moved to within 2 blocks of his house. When he began seeing other women, she slashed his tires. She hacked his email and social media. She climbed through his dog door in the middle of the night. Each of these behaviors reflects the same psychological structure: the refusal to allow reality to contradict the version of events she had constructed internally. The murder was not an explosion of rage. It was the final enforcement of a narrative she had been writing for years. On May 8, 2013, the jury found Jodi Arias guilty of first-degree murder. The verdict came after 15 hours of deliberation. The sentencing phase that followed was complex. 2 juries failed to reach a unanimous decision on the death penalty. In 2015, a judge sentenced Jodi Arias to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Before sentencing, she was asked if she had anything to say. She said yes. She spoke for approximately 4 minutes. She spoke about herself. She did not mention Travis Alexander once. What does the case of Jodi Arias tell us? Not simply that people lie under pressure. What it reveals is something more specific. It reveals what happens when a person's internal narrative becomes more real to them than the external facts. Jodi Arias did not construct 3 stories because she was calculating. She constructed them because each one felt true in the moment she told it. The psychology of self-serving reconstruction is not unique to killers. But in this case, it operated without limits, without breaks, without the internal resistance that most people experience when their narrative conflicts with reality. Her signature was not the violence. Her signature was the certainty that the next version of the story would finally be believed.
Every criminal leaves a signature. Let's read the next one.